Working in customer support is never easy. Working in tech support? I can't even imagine. Welcome to this episode of Tales from Tech Support. Our first tale is from Huxley75. Back around 2005 or so, an account exec at the PR firm I worked for bought a domain name for a client website and put it on her own credit card. She ignored the 90, 60, 30-day renewal reminders. We weren't working on the project. She contracted it out versus go with the in-house web development team. And when the URL and domain went dark and wouldn't work, she flipped. I got a livid phone call from her telling me I needed to get the site back up and online quick because they were going live on national TV to advertise it. Good Morning America, if I recall correctly. I calmly explained that there's nothing I can do since she bought the domain using her personal card, not our corporate account. And even if she renewed the domain, I'm not in control of the global DNS servers and can't guarantee how fast things will work again. She wasn't happy with that, so after I hung up with her, I immediately heard my manager's phone ring. I walked over and told him what was going on while he had her on mute, just ranting away. When he told her the same things I had, she didn't like it. Next thing we know, our senior manager gets a call, and now there's 3 people who told her we can't fix it. The site is up and available by the IP address, but the DNS domain issue is her problem, not ours. We hang up on that call, and within 10 minutes, my senior manager gets a call from our CIO asking what's going on. He got a call from her and told her the same thing 3 of us had already tried to explain. He hung up, got all of us on a conference call, and explained in excruciating detail why this problem was hers and why we can't fix it right away. The CIO explained why there's an in-house web development team, why we have a corporate account with VeriSign, and why we need to be kept in the loop for these launches and campaigns. We didn't not want to help, but when you get a call at 8 a.m. and the site is supposed to be up and live for Good Morning America at 9 a.m., then there's not much we can do at that point. After she's called everyone and we explained things to her that she didn't want to believe. She also had a long history of not wanting to follow the process. We did help her get the domain name renewed, but by the time that happened, we'd spent enough time on the call that 9 a.m. came and went. This was also a PR firm which, from my experience, is full of entitled prima donnas. We never heard from her again, and I resigned from that position shortly thereafter. I don't understand how she couldn't comprehend what you guys were telling her, especially since she was told the same thing by 3 different people. It's just like, what do you expect to happen? I'm glad you guys didn't have to deal with that PR firm any further, and I'm glad that you resigned your position and hopefully found something that you enjoy better. This next one is by Binary Hex Tech Dude. So a user called to complain that a personal email he gets from his golf club had a link in it, and when he clicked that link, it didn't work because our firewall blocked it. And what was I going to do about it? I work for a company that runs the public transport network, by the way. So I reply that given we don't have a bus route that includes the 18th hole, I wasn't going to do anything about it. That's when I had the first inkling I might be in trouble. He says, "I don't want to pull rank, but..." And he proceeds to tell me that everyone checks personal email at work, and he's been getting these golf club emails for a long time, and he's not happy that this one is blocked. But I'm a slow learner and reiterate that it's not really worth looking into, given it's not work related. Then I get the, "What's your name? I'm going to take this higher" speech. Turns out, he's the guy in the big chair for one of our departments. So I wrote a full explanation email to my boss, and now I'm waiting for the fallout. How entitled do you have to be though? The guy admits it's not work related, but he still wants me to sort it out. We're short-staffed, I've got an inbox full of actual work to do, so I pushed back without knowing who I was talking to, and now I'm probably going to regret it. Oh well, c'est la vie. I really hope that this goes somewhere and he gets a talking to for trying to have you do non-work related stuff for him. This next tale is from Saya. A few years back, I was still an apprentice at our small IT department, 3 full-time employees and me. This interaction shaped how I approach any support I had to do going forward. The first big project I was involved in was the upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10 clients throughout the company building. Instead of just upgrading Windows, our department lead decided it was best to buy completely new small form factor computers to get rid of old hardware. My task in all of this was to make appointments with employees to get their hardware swapped and make sure no files were saved on the desktop. No backups for that. For our employee of the story, I managed to get an appointment just before lunch break, emphasizing that no files were to be saved on the desktop to avoid losing important data. As I arrive, they just finished working on a file and I immediately spot files on the desktop. You should move the files on the desktop to your home folder, otherwise you won't have access to them anymore.
Oh, those are just temporary files. I don't need them anymore.
Should we move them just in case?
Nope, not needed.
Alright, fine. Then please turn off the computer so I can swap it for your new one.
Sure.
They then proceed to turn off both monitors. Me a bit dumbfounded. Okay, sure, but please turn off your computer as well, otherwise I won't be able to swap it.
I don't know how, 'cause I don't see anything anymore.
Me, while still dumbfounded, proceed to turn the monitors back on and turn the computer off. The employee left for lunch while I was swapping it for the new one. A day later, I get a call from said employee that important documents are missing from the desktop. I would say I feel bad, but I really don't. I don't know how somebody doesn't know how to even turn off a computer and then let alone try to claim that they had important documents but then say they were temporary. It seems like that employee is just in the wrong position. This next tale is by Dan. It's a Wednesday morning. I've just had to do a usual new hire intro since this one started Wednesday, not Monday. Relaxing after an hour of yammering away about policy and where stuff is, I get a ticket about updating a notarizing program because there's a deadline. It's not working, and stuff needs to go out today. So I'm working the Teams call, pocket buzzing with my cell going off. Yay call forwarding, right? Hello, and Dan speaking.
Dan, I need your help. New hire's email doesn't show in the search bar in Outlook when I search for them.
So a really not important issue since I know new hire has an email address. We all have first initial last name @company.com here. So to try to understand how I should place this beyond absolute bottom of the stack, how critical is this? After a perceivable microsecond pause,
everything is urgent, bye-bye.
Confused, I return to my work. After I finish up the ticket, I was in the middle of 4 actual moneymakers. I go see reception and explain. They very clearly want none of it and and me dismissively. After catching the vibe but still explaining the issue, I say, okay, so you understand, this does not constitute an urgent issue. They raise their hands and say,
but it's urgent for me.
Urgent for thee is not necessarily urgent for me. You have to love the people that think that their problem is the only one in the building, especially when it does come to tech support. Now granted, I understand if you need your computer or tech for your job, you need it working properly, but still, there's still a queue of who's more important, and a lot of people seem to overinflate that importance. And our final tale is from Denry Foof. Hi everyone, this is my first post here as a longtime lurker, and while I have many fun stories from my job as a sysadmin, this one is the most recent and one of my most brazen requests I've ever received. I work a typical 8 AM to 4:30 PM Monday through Friday on site. However, thanks to being the only sysadmin at my company, and being salaried, I'm able to have some flexibility with my schedule, which includes me occasionally working from home if the circumstance is right. As you may have guessed by now, the question in the title, "Can I come to your house?" was asked on one such day I was working from home. It was a really slow Friday afternoon, and I was very much looking forward to the day being over, and the weekend. I wasn't receiving many calls or tickets, so I was trying to fill my time with whatever random projects needed some attention. Suddenly, I get a frantic call from a maintenance worker from my company who was borrowing someone else's phone. I will refer to them as MW. "Hello, this is Denry Foof."
Hey, Denry Foof, I'm having an issue with my phone. My screen is blacked out, I can't see anything, and I'm expecting a phone call in a few minutes. I need your help.
Okay, so has the phone been damaged or anything? Is the screen broken?
No, it's been in my pocket all day. It must have gotten messed up in my pocket. Let me get it out and tell you what I see.
Brief pause.
Okay, I can just barely see what's on my phone. It's all dark, like how it looks when the sun is shining on the screen.
Me beginning to realize what's going on. Okay, sounds like your brightness has gotten turned down. What kind of phone do you have again?
It's whatever the Samsung you ordered for us was.
I handle the purchasing and management of users' phones through our carrier at my job. Okay, so I'll have you try and find as much shade or darkness as you can so you can see a little better, or try cupping your hand over the phone. Once you can see the screen a bit, slide your finger down from the top of the screen. Cue me trying to help the user figure out how to turn their brightness up over the phone for the next few minutes and them not listening to my directions but instead fumbling with the phone wildly.
I can't get this stupid thing to work. I'm on my way back. I'm coming to your office. I have to take this call.
I'm really sorry. I'm actually not in the office right now. I'm working from home on a few different projects. Let's start over and we can get it sorted, I'm sure.
How far away are you?
Sorry? At this point, thinking maybe they didn't hear I was working from home.
How far away are you from the company? Where do you live?
About 25 to 30 minutes? I live outside of town, in the next town over. Fear begins to set in.
Okay, send me your address. I'll just come to you. I have to be able to work from this.
At this point, I was silent for a couple seconds, processing the fact that this person is really asking to drive to my home, which would be almost 30 minutes one way, just so I could help them turn up their phone brightness. I understand you need your phone, but like I said, I'm working at home right now. If you could just get to a place you could see your screen a little better, this will be no problem.
Fuck it, I'll ask someone else for help. Ding.
I just sighed and went back to my project. It never ceases to amaze me how no matter how much people claim they need you to help them, they then won't listen to what you say when you're trying to. Hope you guys get a little enjoyment out of my story. I'm of the belief that if you're calling and asking somebody for help, instead of constantly talking like it seems like a lot of these people do, just shut up and listen and do what they're telling you. Because if you know what you're doing and you already knew how to do it, why did you even ask for help? Alright, that's enough tales for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales from Tech Support. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons. Have a great day and stay safe out there.